If a decision had not been forced on him, it certainly was in the cards. Dragging his pack saddles and camp equipment out on the porch, he set morosely to going over them, but stealing more glances in the direction of the low cabin. Eventually the mill whistle blew. The day was over, and the mill hands got off at an early hour. Not minutes afterward, the old prospector heard a familiar step, and he looked up gladly. "Howdy, old-timer," came a gay voice. "What you doing with this camp truck?" "Al, I'm getting ready to hit the trail," replied the prospector. "Aw, no, Jim, not so early. Why, it's only May. Snow isn't off yet," protested the young man. "Sit down a little, then I'll walk to town with you. I'm going to buy supplies." Al threw down his dinner pail and then his hat. He stood a moment looking at Crawford. Al was a tall, rangy young man, about 21, his overalls redolent of fresh sawdust. He had a rough, handsome face, keen blue eyes which were now shaded with respect, square chin covered by a faint, silky down. He plumped down on the porch. "I'm sorry to see you going," said Al. "It's good of you, son, if you mean you'll miss me," replied the prospector. "I sure do mean that, but there's something else. These trips on the desert must be tough, even for an old-timer like you. Forgive me, but I've seen you back 4 or 5 times now, and each time you seem done up. Jim, you might die out there." "Course I might. It's what I want when my time comes." "Oh, but that should be a long while yet." "Jim, you've taken the place of my dad." "I appreciate that, son," replied Crawford warmly. "Then you come live with Mother and me," suggested Al. "You'd take care of me?" "I didn't mean that, Jim. You can work. We've got a ranch, even if it is mortgaged. But if we cultivate it, buy a couple of horses, the 2 of us, it's not a bad idea. I've thought of that before. There's plenty of work left in me yet, but I'd only want to after I'd made a strike. Then we could pay off the mortgage, stock the place, and farm right." "So you've thought of that?" asked Al. "Yep, a lot," replied Crawford. "I didn't know you thought so much of me. Gosh, that'd be grand." Then his face fell, and he added ruefully, "But you old prospectors never make a strike." "Sometimes we do," replied Jim, vehemently nodding. "Our hopes are like mirages you hear about. Haven't I told you of Amber's Mirage?" "That's a new one. Come on, old-timer, if it don't take too long." "Not today, son. Tomorrow, if you come over." "I'll come. Ruby has flagged me again for another cowpuncher," rejoined Al with evident pathos. "Who is he?" queried Jim, looking up. "He's a new one, a flash cowboy, good-looking, son of a rich cattleman who has a lot of ranches around here. Reckon I remember hearing about Raston, but he hasn't paid for those big range interests yet, has he? Is young Raston sweet on Ruby?" "Sure, same as all these other galoots, only he's a hot shot, and Ruby is powerful set up about him." "Does she encourage him?" asked Jim, going over to pick up a saddle cinch. "She sure does," burst out Al in disgust. "We've been over that enough." "You're deep in love with Ruby?" asked Crawford. "Head over heels. I'm drowning," replied Al with a frank laugh. "Are you engaged yet?" "I am to her, but I guess she ain't to me, at least not all the time." "Jim, it's this way. I think she likes me better than any of the others, but she sure plays around with other fellows more than with me. Ruby loves to ride and dance. She's full of the devil. There's more than one fellow like Raston who'd like to take her away, but she always comes back." "What does your mother think about all this?" Al hesitated, then replied, "When Ruby comes over to our house, Mom doesn't exactly approve of her. She says Ruby is half good and half bad. But my mother believes if I could give Ruby what she craves, why, she'd turn out all right. Jim, that's what I hope." "But you can't afford that on your pay," protested Jim. "I know I can't, but I save all the money I can. Jim, I don't even own a horse. But if I can get ahead somehow, unless something awful happens, Jim, I can't compete with a dude like Raston." "I can't help but wonder, Al, do you really think Ruby is worth this love and devotion of yours?" "Yes, she is," replied Al indignantly. "You don't love someone because he or she is so-and-so. You can't help yourself." "You're right at that," replied the prospector. "But suppose a woman is no good." "You're not insinuating. I'm just asking on general principles, since you made a general..."